Have you ever wondered about the man who dreamed of giving the world free wireless energy? The genius whose inventions laid the groundwork for our modern electrical grid, radio, and even Wi-Fi? Today, we pulling back the curtain on one of history's most brilliant and misunderstood minds. Nikola Tesla. What really happened to the man who electrified the world, only to die alone and in debt? This is the untold story. Our story begins not in a gleaming laboratory, but in a small village in modern-day Croatia, where a boy named Nikola was born during a lightning storm. The midwife saw it as a bad omen, but his mother declared, "No, he will be a child of light," and she couldn't have been more right. From a young age, Tesla was different. He had a photographic memory and could visualize entire inventions in his head, down to the last screw before ever picking up a tool. This unique ability would become both his greatest gift and his deepest curse. He arrived in America in 1884 with just 4 cents in his pocket, a book of poetry, and a letter of recommendation to the one man he believed would understand his vision, Thomas Edison. Edison was already a celebrity, the Wizard of Menlo Park, famous for his practical money-making inventions. The meeting was a clash of titans. Edison, the pragmatic businessman, and Tesla, the visionary dreamer. Edison hired Tesla, and their initial collaboration was promising. Edison even offered Tesla $50,000, a fortune back then, to improve his inefficient direct current, or DC motors. Tesla, with his characteristic brilliance, didn't just improve them, he completely redesigned the system. When he went to collect his payment, Edison laughed it off, saying, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." This wasn't a joke to Tesla, it was a betrayal that ignited one of the greatest rivalries in the history of science, the War of the Currents. Tesla knew his alternating current, or AC, system was far superior. It could transmit electricity over vast distances with minimal power loss, something Edison's DC couldn't do. He quit Edison's company and, after a period of digging ditches to survive, he found a new backer, George Westinghouse. Together, they championed AC power. This was a direct threat to Edison's DC empire. Edison, fearing he'd lose everything, launched a ruthless smear campaign. He publicly electrocuted animals, from stray dogs to a circus elephant named Topsy, using Tesla's AC to prove how dangerous it was. He painted AC as the death current, but Tesla was a showman in his own right. At the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, he stood on a stage, bathed in the glow of light bulbs powered by his AC system, and let high-voltage currents pass harmlessly through his own body. The crowd was stunned. The world was convinced. The War of the Currents was over, and Tesla had won. His AC system became the global standard, and it's the very same system that powers our homes today. This should have been the start of an incredible era for Tesla. With Westinghouse's backing, he finally had the resources to pursue his wildest dreams. He built a laboratory in Colorado Springs that looked like something out of a science fiction novel. A massive tower topped with a copper ball reached for the sky. Here, under the vast American plains, he created artificial lightning bolts that were longer than a football field and could be seen for miles. He wasn't just playing with the electricity. He was trying to understand the resonant frequency of the Earth itself. His goal was monumental, to create a world wireless system. He envisioned a network of towers that would transmit not just information like radio signals, but electrical power, freely and wirelessly, to anyone on the planet with a simple receiver. Imagine a world with no power lines, no electricity bills. A world where remote villages could have light and energy just by tapping into the Earth's natural electrical field. This was Tesla's ultimate dream, a gift to humanity. His primary backer for this grand project was the powerful banker, J.P. Morgan. Tesla began construction of his most famous structure, the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island, New York. This magnificent 187-foot tower was meant to be the first broadcast station for his global energy network. But as the project progressed, Morgan began to get nervous. When Guglielmo Marconi, using technology based on 17 of Tesla's own patents, sent the first transatlantic radio signal, Morgan's focus shifted. Why invest in a complex, world-changing energy system when there was immediate profit to be made in radio? The turning point came when Morgan asked the fateful question, where do we put the meter? Tesla's honest answer was his downfall. He explained that the energy would be free for all. For a capitalist like J.P. Morgan, the idea of a product that couldn't be metered and sold was absurd. He pulled his funding. The newspapers, once hailing Tesla as a genius, began to mock him and his impractical tower. Without money, the Wardenclyffe project was doomed. The tower, a beautiful monument to a utopian future, was eventually sold for scrap to pay off Tesla's mounting debts. It was a devastating blow from which he would never fully recover. The final decades of Tesla's life are a tragic story of decline. He continued to invent, patenting ideas for everything from vertical takeoff aircraft to what we now call a death ray, but he lacked the funding and business sense to bring them to life. Other inventors and corporations capitalized on his earlier work, growing rich while Tesla slid further into poverty and obscurity. He became an eccentric figure in New York City, living in a series of hotels, his only companions the pigeons he would feed in the park. He claimed to have a special connection with one particular white pigeon, loving it as one would love a human being. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone in his room at the Hotel New Yorker. At the age of 86, the man who had lit up the world died penniless. Soon after his death, the FBI seized all of his papers, notes, and research documents that are still classified to this day. What secrets did they contain? Did his research hold the key to technologies we still haven't discovered? The mystery only adds to his legend. So what really happened to Nikola Tesla? He was a man out of time, a visionary whose ideas were too grand for a world obsessed with profit. He gave us the modern age, but he was betrayed by the very system he helped create. He wasn't a failure. The world simply wasn't ready for him. But his legacy is all around us. Every time you flip a light switch, use your phone, or connect to Wi-Fi, you are living in the world that Nikola Tesla dreamed of. His story is a powerful reminder that the greatest minds aren't always the most celebrated, and that some visions are so bright they take a century to come into focus. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of a true genius. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from history. Let us know in the comments what you think about Tesla's legacy. See you next time.